Hello and welcome to a Bentley Continental GT3 Endless Endurance Race at COTA, which stands for Circuit of the Americas. This certainly isn't my favorite endless endurance track, but you know what? It is kind of fun. I really love the S section coming up here, the S's. I don't like this first hairpin because it's so sharp, you gotta slow down so much, but well, what do you do? So, the race location of this particular race is in the exclusive series. Purchase price of this car is $1.3 million M. To fully upgrade this car will cost about $2.9 million M and 230 gold. Not bad for fully upgraded cars, but you could also earn this car, of course. A lot of people just did. It's ran in series multiple times, so at least you could skip the purchase price. That's the only off-track cut you have to take, but you will notice, well, I'm doing a little more cutting here and there, but it's like just rounding some corners. Don't do that, where I was just off track for a bit. That's no good. This isn't easy. I'll just say that. This isn't easy. You gotta really drive aggressively, and at a certain point, don't worry about getting all smashed up. We're gonna warp ahead very quickly here. At the start-finish line, we're gonna warp to lap 7, which is where I'm already catching the perpetual point, which again, is what happens after you've passed 42 cars. You have to pass them as fast as possible or you will never get to the perpetual point, which is what you already know because you might have never seen the perpetual point. Now that is so annoying what I just did. I'm already at a time deficit and I went off track. So through this section here, got tagged. It's a horrible time to get tagged because I'm already low on time. You can see I am doing a little bit of rounding those corners, kind of driving a straight line through there. You want to stay clear of damage for as long as you can. But I found it's not bad to get all smashed up eventually, and you're going to notice that. Notice my 2 working taillights? Yeah, you keep an eye on that, all right? It's not going to stay that way. So I should have already caught the perpetual point, but I got tagged pretty bad and blew the one corner, but we are there. This is the perpetual point. Now I'm over braking this corner. That's horrible, so I'm wrecking my speed run. We'll do another lap here. And my goal today is I'm going to show you how far you have to go to fill up your M dollars in total. So get all of your M dollars, 250,000 in just one race. Again, I'm kind of blowing that corner. I did get that dialed in. Usually I have it dialed in, but you got to push it so much. If there's no one in your way here, you can stay full throttle actually, but you do need to brake a little bit here or you're going to be flying off track. That was off track more than I want to be, but not bad. Kind of just driving straighter through that, so I said rounding off, I actually mean taking a straighter line through all those S's. The computer, the bots, they really suck when it comes to Circuit of the Americas and those S's. They just drive it horribly. Mind you, they don't do very well at Suzuka either, which is another place where there's some awesome S sections. Silverstone, they do pretty good, but even there, in most cars, like going through Beckett's Complex, Chapel Curve at Silverstone, I can generally catch up to bots there. But at COTA, man, it's easy to catch them here. They're just horrible. I don't know why they drive so bad here. They just do. This is one place where having any type of steering assist I find really affects me on those sharp corners. But that's me. That being said, best to have everything off. So I have steering off, brakes off, traction off. I use tilt B controls, which you might have noticed from the brakes and the gas. And I use sensitivity too. That's a personal thing. Use whatever sensitivity works for you. And you can see I'm avoiding guys, but coming up here in a little while, I don't avoid anybody. I actually start to, once you get maximum damage, you can start to use and abuse the bots. So you can use them actually as a way to slow down, so you can brake late if you know you're going to smash into someone, and it's kind of crazy. But this is a fun race in this car because you can stay full throttle through certain sections. I do really like this car. It sounds great, it handles great. I like this car. Unfortunately, when it comes to weekly online multiplayer, the McLaren beats it out a bit. The McLaren has less grip, but it's got better acceleration and better top speed, just by a bit. But it's enough. But there are certain tracks where that extra grip can really help, and at the end of the day, it's really about the driver, not so much about the car in certain situations. So we're doing a little bit more the footage here because I'm trying to show you how I can refill the timer. Okay, you see that? That was some aggressive driving there. And so the big problem here is refilling your timer. That is challenging. And you can see I got a ways to go here, and you do have to definitely watch coming back into the race there. When you're taking that cut, you have to know where those bots are because they're coming up behind you, and if you don't time that correctly, you're going to get majorly taken out, which will probably end your race. So it's yeah, not the easiest race for sure. It took me a few tries to get this dialed in. I had done this quite a while ago, but then people were recently asking me about endless endurance options, and this is the best one I could find. There is a Silverstone option in the GT3 series, but man, is it ever difficult. I saw the train a couple of times, could not refill my timer. I just ran out of time. So this is definitely the easiest option, but don't get me wrong, this isn't necessarily easy. But driving through here can be a lot of fun. You can see that time I was barely off track, not afraid to take some side damage. You need a lot of side damage before it actually hurts you. So don't worry about taking on some side hits. Here you can see I'm trying to be careful so I know where he is. So he's going to disappear, which means I got to watch. He'll be hitting the brakes. I think he's disappearing. Oh, he's not. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to tell. I was sure I would have, that's odd, isn't it? So coming up here, you want to brake a bit early and then power on that gas, get an overtake in here. Beautiful. On the brakes quite early here so we can set up a speed run. And gotta watch. Can I get this guy? I might just take him out. Sure, let's do a little bit of a dirty overtake there. Got to be careful doing that because you can get damaged. But after maximum damage, again, see the two working taillights? I'm pointing that out for a reason. All right, I think I might be able to refill the timer on this particular section. After I do that, we'll warp ahead to the end of the race. So you got to be careful, got to plan your overtakes through the S's here. Being a little bit careful with that, guy, as you can see. 83 seconds. Yep, this should be the time where I finally get to refill my timer. I should be able to get two bots right here, I think. One, two. There you go. I froze the screen there for just a little bit. So that means that we're going to warp ahead here right away to where the finale happens. And you'll see how long I have to go to fill up my M dollars. And the way I figured this out is I did a test run where I went 100 kilometers. And based on that, I did calculations as far as how far I need to go to totally fill it up. Okay, so there we are. We're at lap 36. Which is, it's getting pretty up there. And I think I got another 1.5 laps to go. Is that about right? I think that's about right. I think it's about 1.5 laps. So you can see I started losing some time again. Notice how there are no more brake lights. They're both gone. And I don't care about tagging people anymore. Brake lights? What brake lights? They're both smashed out. Kind of funny. So you're going to see this. Why bother braking? I'll use him for my brakes. I mean, I'm on the brakes a bit, but I was late braking that time around. So the disadvantage to maximum damage. Oh, big tag. That's what I talked about. Gotta watch it. Okay, disadvantage to maximum damage. Disadvantage to maximum damage. That's what I want to say. Is you lose top speed, acceleration, grips, and brakes. In this car, I do not notice the grip falling off. I'm sure it does. I don't really notice it. So it still handles really good, even though you've got maximum damage. So it's still, I kept going pretty good. Now that major hit, look at that. There's no bots. Like, they're up there somewhere, but I'm not going to be going far enough to find them. Because I'll be ending this race very soon. Once I hit 129 is my target, which is probably a little bit more than I have to go, but not much. Always better to go a little bit further rather than not enough. So once I hit 129, I'm going to be throwing the car off track, and then I might even give a little bit back. So there we go. We'll call it right there. And we'll go 16 times normal speed as soon as I'm setting this up. Yeah, 129.05. Good enough. So, actual race time, 40 minutes and 12 seconds. From that, I can figure out the fame pay. Just 603 fame per minute. That's not that great. But 6,219 M dollars per minute. That's not bad. And you can see I overshot by a little bit. So please like and subscribe. Definitely better option is the Formula One cars. You can do this in less time. Here's the video links to that. And thanks for joining me today.